Gruesome Magazine.
Hello, once again, I am Doc Rotten, and this is Gruesome Magazine, where we review the very latest in streaming and video on-demand horror movies. Each week, my co-hosts, Jeff Mohr, Crystal Cleveland, Dave Dreher, and I will take a look at various spooky, scary, and gory genre offerings. All right, with me this week is Jeff Mohr. Jeff, how you doing, sir?
I think I'm doing okay.
Turn that lights.
Although I'm starting to feel kind of crazy, so be careful.
Wow. Yes, we're doing a lot of these tonight. It's crazy. We are doing a film called Spree tonight, and this is going to be a fun discussion. So stick around for it as we review this wacky. Is it a found footage film? That's one of the questions I'm going to be asking. No. See, I think it might be, but it doesn't.
I think it definitely has to be.
All right, first,
no.
Crystal Cleveland, the Living Dead girl. How you doing?
I'm good. I think this is stale content. No, I'm just kidding. Don't see that part. I love this. Yeah, I'm like, it's stale. It happens every day. Totally. This is fun. Yeah.
All right. And of course, where would we be without Dave Dreher, my co-host for H&R for the past 7 years? And I want to say that as often as I can because it is so great to see you now because I spent 7 years not looking at you, and now I get to see you every week. This is fantastic. How you doing, Dave?
I am doing well.
I hope you enjoyed this film.
Yeah, I did.
Later.
Actually, we need to move along because my spree driver will be here in 20 minutes.
Okay, well, let's do that. Yes, let's do that.
You might want to think about that.
Is it still operating? I don't know. All right, let's talk about this. All right, Spree 2020. It's available August 14th from RLJE. It is directed by Eugene Kotlyarenko. That's not how you pronounce his name, but that's how I do it. Wow. So, sorry, Eugene. It stars Joe Keery, Sasheer, Zamata, and David Arquette. Synopsis is a thirsty for a following. Kurt Kunkle is a rideshare driver who has figured out a deadly plan to go viral. Yes, he's going viral. This is the social media horror film of the year. Is it not? All right. So we've got to find out what our first thoughts about this film are. And we're going to go to our social media expert, Jeff Mohr. Jeff, what is your first impression of Spree?
My first impressions are I like this film. Social media expert. Yeah, I just found out about reaction videos. I like Joe Keery a lot, and he does a good job here. And he's all over the place, and he tries so hard, and his character is such a loser. David Arquette is really good too. And all the characters in here do a good job. Some of them are just sort of fly-by bit parts, although the character of, what was her name? Is it Julie? I'm getting that wrong, right? Jesse Adams, played by Sasheer Zamata. She does a really good job too as a trending comedian. Misha Barton, we've seen her before. So it was a fun movie. I hate to. Well, I'm not going to say that. That would be.
You're going to give something away? Is that what you're going to do, Jeff? Don't give anything away.
No, I'm thinking through what I was going to say. So it is so today. It is so, this whole idea of influencers to me is just like totally foreign. I don't get it. So this guy who's trying to be an influencer, he's trying to get hits, and no matter what he does, he gets 10 people watching his live feed. And I'm going to say that's why it's not found footage, because it's live feed.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. Someone wasn't paying attention.
What? Well, okay, we'll hear about this later. But it's definitely something where the cameras are part of the story, right? The cameras
are part of the story.
It's so hard because he also has like 4 cameras in his car.
Yeah,
so like,
and cell phones.
Every time I think about that, it's not that I think it's not found footage. I'm like, well, that angle could have possibly been from that side, and I'm like, that could have been that.
All right. Well, we got to get on to the rest. But Jeff, I have to say, the irony is that you are exactly the influencer you're talking about right now. That's awesome.
Oh, well, I think if you find somebody I'm influencing.
You are.
You influence
good,
me
bad, or
all the
indifferent. I could be
time.
influencing people to be the other side.
Yeah, but I love the irony. All right. Okay. Dave Dreher, you're up next. What is your first impression of Spree?
I had zero idea what this movie was about. I had never even heard about it until the screener showed up. My first surprise was like, holy shit, is that David Arquette? And it was David Arquette. But this Joe Keery, is that his name? The kid? Man, he is fantastic. I really ended up loving him in this movie. So good. And just the movie itself is good. It kind of plays a little bit earlier tonight. We talked about that Dead Ones movie, and there's kind of a little bit of a parallel here because we're watching this guy do shit that we really probably shouldn't. Like, I didn't like the fact that they went into so in depth about how to alter the water, if you will. It's like, do we really need to be getting that in depth with that? Couldn't you just put it back here and hope somebody didn't notice that the lid was cracked? But no, I mean, we actually go in depth of like how you would do this so no one would notice. And it's like, man, I don't know. I don't know that we needed to see that. So that bothered me a little bit, but the performances far outweigh this. And the movie just takes a really bizarre turn, and it is 1000% a found footage movie. And like the last minute and a half of the movie makes it that way. If you're really watching what's happening, what we, again, I don't want to get into any spoilers, but what we're watching is the end result of something that happens. Right, Doc? So we're not watching it in real time.
I'm ashamed to admit I did not watch this one twice. But I will.
All right, Crystal, you're up next. What is your first impression of Spree?
I love this movie so much. I wish I didn't relate to it half as much as I do. Because now I feel a little ashamed inside. I'm not afraid to admit that. Joe Keery he's so amazing. I love him in Stranger Things. I think I liked him even more in this. He does an excellent job of playing this kind of sad. He plays such an empathetic character. Like, even though he's out here doing all this bad stuff, kind of rooting for him. I was rooting for him.
Kind of like him, yeah.
I did too. He was like loving. He was like lovingly evil.
Yeah.
He was trying so hard.
Dude needs to catch a break. Every character I loved. I loved Bobby so much. And okay, so the funny part is, I loved Bobby, but whoever was doing the text and doing like the feed, hilarious. I thought the feeds were absolutely brilliant. They know the ins and outs of YouTube and all of this stuff and exactly what you see. I was dying over some of the stuff. Like, it's like he's talking about killing. And he's like, it's still content. It happens every day. Dead. I could not handle that one. That one was too much for me. I was like, I mean, it's kind of true though, right? The whole thing is brilliantly done. It's such a simple concept. It plays on my worst fears. I don't take Ubers or ride shares or any sort of stuff like that. And I don't stay in Airbnbs. And that's because I don't like people and I'm afraid of people. And I think people are creepy. And we have a movie about a creepy driver. He's on a major murking spree to gain fame, which I could totally see happening.
Sadly, it feels a little, this movie is, we brought up another film that we reviewed to look into history for that one. And the difference is this one's more satire, right? This is very satire. It's not trying to be realistic about it. It's actually trying to be almost comical. And well, it is trying to be comical. I mean, because it is funny and it has these wonderfully complex performances. Sasheer, excuse me, as Jesse Adams. I thought she was fantastic as when she gets introduced, and then later when she becomes, we realize that she's going to become a bigger part of the story. She's just so wonderful, so wonderful. And Frankie Grande is in this. I don't know if you know who he is if you watch Big Brother, or if you know who Ariana Grande is. You might know who he is. He with Misha Barton, I think so, and then another person, and they're so into this ride, and it's so funny.
Yeah.
And
he's the one with the white hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's
so fabulous.
Yeah, fabulous is right. That's the way to put it. And it's the different characters that you run into are part of the fun and of this film. The strange lengths that he goes to, the coincidences that help him get out of jams, like at the taco stand. I love the taco stands. This film just had me kind of rolling. I mean, it's not.
And at the taco stand, there was that girl there, and they're like, "She's a total goth girl," and I was like, "What? She's really not though."
I will admit, Crystal, I could not keep up with all the scrolling text, and at some point
I couldn't either.
That was like one of the best parts of the movie.
It was going by so
really
fast.
Funny. It was
Every once in a
I
while,
was like, "Jeez."
Yeah. Every once in a while I'd catch up, but most of the time it was just like, blah, 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 and I was missing it. And I might have to watch it again just to read them. So, but I love it when David Arquette, who plays his father, Kurt's father, gets, bums a ride. I'm going to have to charge you. And you go, what? And then their ride is so funny because he's like so taken aback by what Kurt is doing. And it's actually quite hilarious. But yet, it isn't played by David Arquette to be hilarious, but it is, right? It's kind of interesting. I don't know. This movie,
dad is cooler than he is, unfortunately.
But he doesn't want him to be, right? And he's kind of he's also a big loser too, right? And
because he's a druggie.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
There's a bunch of sad things that happen in this. But I don't know, is saying that you feel rewarded at the end of this, is that going too far? Was this a rewarding experience?
Yes, I loved the whole entire movie. I dug this. I loved every minute of this movie. I was laughing way too much. I laughed at stuff that is absolutely inappropriate because I took it as, like you said, it's a satire. It is he runs over someone and is like, fun. I mean, that's insane. Like, that's so wrong. So, yeah, it's obviously like he's a total sociopath. Actually, he's not a sociopath. He's a psychopath. For sure. Yeah.
I get lost in those. They're all start weaving together. Dave, this is a different kind of horror film. I definitely think it is a horror film because it's a serial killer. He becomes a serial killer. And we lump those willingly into our genre, right? Jeff's correct. Kicking me in the balls right now. But what is your take? Because I know, you were very happy. We did a vampire film earlier tonight and you were so happy. Does this make you happy too? Do you like films like this?
Yeah, I do. Particularly this one. I mean, I always enjoy smart writing, and this is very smartly written. It's written as a satire, but at the same time, it's also way too real based on what's happening in the online world today. And then I love the twist that they give us at the end of it. I think it just worked all the way around. So yeah, I mean, it's not a particularly bloody film. I mean, we do get some blood. We get some blood on the windshield and stuff like that, but nothing really. Yeah, nothing really huge per se. This is all on the character development, and you really do. I liked the lead character. I really did. I was kind of rooting for him a little bit. And when it gets kind of dark there at the end, he's like, oh, he's just another psychopath.
It does get dark at the end.
Damn it. It just worked. But it's definitely a horror film. Make no beans about it. It is a horror film. And an entertaining one at that.
I know. I was like, where are you taking me? I'm taking you home. This isn't the way home. No, you're taking you to my home.
Yes.
It's like that is kind of frightening. It does. But what I liked about it, and Jeff, I don't know if you can relate to this, and that's why I want to go with this, is that some of the characters were all in, right? They come in here and their personalities were all in to interact with him and they were oblivious to what he was up to, while others were a little bit more, stealthy and knew what he was, a little suspicious, right? Our Jesse Adams, for example. I'm getting ready to cough. Excuse me. So Jeff, what did you think of this? Did you find that the characters worked? Were they realistic? Did you ever feel like we were watching a cartoon instead of real characters? How did they develop them?
Well, I actually no. I do think they're kind of cartoony, but
yeah.
I think they're people. How far is that from the reality of it? I don't know, because I don't watch this stuff. Because I don't watch this stuff. So I especially liked the three that were in the car, Mr. Grande and I think Misha Barton and another one, and when they were how ridiculous it is that he says his idea to get them a really unique experience is to joyride through a junkyard. and they're standing on the seat, standing up through the moonroof, and I'm like thinking, wow. And then they're complimenting them on what a great idea it was.
Yeah,
they were so stereotypical, so stereotypical. So, but it was funny. It was hilarious. So I don't know that they were realistic, but they certainly made a point.
I like that.
If you remember, like the first dude he picks up is a total racist.
Yes.
Okay. And that whole scene was like, I was like, I'm so uncomfortable. But the way Joe handled it, where he's like, say you're white and you're proud. And he's like, no. Like, it's so fascinating to me. I think it's very interesting. And I think they're all caricatures, obviously. I mean, well, I don't know. There probably are people like that, but that guy deserved to die. Again,
Right.
He deserved to die.
Those people are definitely out there. I mean, a lot of them. Well, Jeff, you probably do too, because of our political views on Facebook. I've been called a libtard and a snowflake so many times that and that's the type of people that they are. I mean, that's them. He was a perfect caricature of that group.
I'm addicted to a true crime series called See No Evil, where they always catch the crooks through surveillance cameras, in Walmarts, gas stations, people's houses. And when you watch that stuff, I'm just, and obviously these aren't the really smart ones because they get caught, but it always amazes me how stupid they are. But I've literally saw one where a guy, they have this guy on camera and he stops the pickup and he opens it up and he's messing around inside the truck and then drives away. And the cops, they come back to this location and there's blood all over the ground. There was a dead body in there bleeding out all over the ground while he was messing with it. I'm just, so that, I mean, the guy walks into a convenience store and he's totally bloody from head to foot and nobody says anything. Goes buys a new, or a Walmart goes buys a new set of clothes. There's stuff, people do stuff you just can't imagine and get away with it without even thinking about it. Yeah. So anyway, yes, it is realistic in that way.
Yeah. Well, we can't end this discussion without talking about Joe Keery, who's the lead here, and he, he's on Stranger Things. Most people will know him on Stranger Things, and his character on Stranger Things, if you remember, wasn't supposed to be a character that stuck around, and he was so good that they kept him. And this is a different character, and he really shines. His personality, his charisma, really makes this character worth watching. It makes him less despicable and a little more sad and relatable in a odd way. You feel like his behavior is a victim of
Society.
the society, and the world around us. What is it? It's nature versus nurture, right? Or what, something like that. And then I don't know where I'm going with that, but basically he feels like a victim as much as he's the antagonist. So.
He talks about it. He basically says, like, when he's driving and he sees all those homeless people, the way he talks to them is the way he feels about himself. He's like, look at all of you, not care. Well, he does care about, his social. He's like, not caring if people follow you, or like, that's all he cares about is
right.
being someone on social media. I don't even think he cares about being someone in real life, which is really kind of sad. But
nope.
Well, he tries to do it in a somewhat normal way, but doesn't get any followers.
Right. So
because he's
doing
not
Kurt's World.
Kurt's World.
Boring. He's boring. Like, and that's so sad, but it's kind of true. I'm like, oh yeah, the life of a driver.
That's what
I like.
Yeah,
I like the DJ that he was looking up to, because she had so many followers and everything, and what happens with her. That's my
my God.
Some fun stuff.
Actually, I love when she's sitting there and she sees the gun, and then she just stops and she's like, because she was thinking about what she was going to do with it. She's like,
yeah.
And everyone's like, what are you thinking about? Oh, if you were, I know y'all weren't reading, but they're like, what are you thinking about? Because she's like, she puts it in her purse. I'm like, oh, okay. That's probably a good idea, huh?
All right. Well, obviously we're chuckling and having a good time with this, so I think you're going to get the idea of what we think of this. So let's wrap this up, give our final thoughts, our score, and favorite scene. And now I'm going to be ironic. If you like what you're seeing, I feel like I'm doing the movie. Subscribe below, hit the bell, hit the like button, or the dislike.
I can't even get my hands right.
You can't do it. And give us some comments. I am totally curtain this, all the pieces. It's just how it goes. If you're on the podcast, listen to the podcast, subscribe there and leave a review on iTunes. It helps us out. All right, let's do this. Let's give our final thoughts. Our score 1 to 5. And a favorite scene. This should be fun. I believe, Jeff Mohr, you are first.
You're right. I think this is definitely worth a watch. I think it's fun, and I like what Dave said, because it does tackle a topic that's spree killing is a terrible, tragic thing, but this one does it with sarcasm and humor. There's nothing attractive about this in any way, and God, Joe Keary is excellent. Oh boy, I hate going first. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do 3.75 on this.
3.75.
And my favorite scene, and this is going to sound weird, but probably comes from what I just said about the series See No Evil, is where he stops, and I think he's like getting gas or something.
Yes.
Police car on the opposite side of the pumps, and there's plenty of visible blood, and the cop isn't noticing it. It's just, I don't know. It should have been a big tension scene, and it just is sort of funny. I just kept watching that, thinking, "Wow, this is right out of See No Evil."
Yeah, he just walks over and stands in front of it and keeps talking. It's great. It's great.
Right.
All right. That's one of Chris. No, Dave Dreher, you're up next. Dave, what is your final thoughts? Your score and favorite scene?
Final thoughts. This is a great movie. Kind of innovative way of presenting a serial killer or a spree killer. I don't know that we've seen it done quite this way before. And he's certainly likable. He's certainly not the first likable serial killer. I mean, we've had Dexter and people like that, that accomplish the same thing. But this is done, like Jeff said, with wit and sarcasm, and a dash of darkness. Okay, maybe a big dash of darkness. I'm also going to give it a 3.75. This is a really strong film. Favorite scene. This is going to be hard to talk about, because I don't want to give anything away. I know we don't like to go spoilery, but it's the actual end of the movie. We've kind of already alluded to it a little bit, where in the matter of about 7 seconds, we realize this is a doc movie, And
Yes.
and I just loved how they did that. I honestly did not see that coming. I really didn't. I had no idea that it was kind of more. I don't want to say what's in my head because it's going to give it away. So Doc, you know what I
It
mean.
makes sense. Yeah, it totally
Yes,
makes
I
sense.
do. Yes, I do.
Yeah. So and I love that because it totally took me by surprise. That what we've been watching the whole time wasn't what we thought we were watching at all.
All right, Crystal Cleveland, you're up next. What is your final thoughts, your score, and favorite scene?
This movie is fantastic, and you must watch it. That is all. Like I absolutely
Vote for me.
just do it because I told you to. That is all. No, I'm just kidding. But really do it. Anyway, no, I was like, wow, guys, I'm not being serious. I'm going to give it 4 1/4.
4 1/4.
Nice.
Wow.
And my favorite scene is, oh god, there's a couple, but I'm gonna go with, oh god, yeah. And this is so something. I don't know. There's 2 I keep debating about. Okay, I'm gonna go with the triple KO. It's in the car.
All right.
Sunroof. There's a triple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Triple
Yeah,
KO.
there is.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Never stand through the sunroof ever.
Never.
Bad idea.
Yeah, right.
We
Bad
know this,
idea.
right? We know this. But that was the fun part. Right? All right. I found myself enjoying the hell out of this. It's based on the performance and the sarcastic. It's funny. It's witty. It's just all these things. And it is, it's got that serial killer thing going on. I like it. I'm going to go with a 4. I'm going to go 4.
Yay.
Yeah. We talked about in another movie putting the actress up as, a best lead. And I think Joe Keery needs to get a similar nod here for this film.
I wouldn't argue that point.
I think this movie might get looked over, but I'm not sure it's getting a lot of
Overlooked.
attention across. But
what's it coming on to? Who's playing it?
Yeah.
Is it a summer movie or
no? It's just coming out from RLJE, so it's VOD. So it'll be streaming before the end of the year. So
rent it.
Yes.
Support the movie.
Yeah, do that. My favorite scene, like you said, there's a number of them. I could go with the taco shack scene, but I'm going to go. Our lead character kind of starts having a thing for the Jesse Adams, the comedian. Kind of gets stalkery, if you will, and ends up in the audience for her performance. And she decides she has no idea he's in there, but she decides to kind of reflect on the people that she met on this ride, both the jerk that was in, the other passenger, and then of course our lead, Kurt, and his reaction as she's doing this. I mean, there's so much going on, and thematically, that was the highlight of the film. I think it's not the funniest, it's not the goriest, it's not the wittiest, but thematically, it really exposes our character, and also brings the Jessie character to another level that makes her, much more important for the rest of the movie. And his reaction to it, I think, was so spot on. Both sitting there and then darting out the door when, he was just crushed. He was crushed. And then it's accented by later when he realizes, or in his own twisted way, he realizes that whether or not he's correct or not is up for debate. But he realizes what he learned from that. And it's so wrong. Twisted. I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is I like those two characters, and I think the whole movie kind of gels instead of becoming a series of skits, if you will. Up until then, it becomes an actual story. It's just building toward that, and then it really kind of delivers at that point. because it just
Yeah.
there's a lot going on before that, and it's all important, and you don't realize it's important until those scenes, and that's why I'm picking it.
Awesome.
I gotta watch it again and see this part everybody's talking about that I totally screwed up. I must have forgot it. I gotta watch it again.
Do it. All right. Well, that's our review for Spree, coming out August 14th, VOD, and all of those fancy things. So go check it out. Let us know what you think. Comment down below. I would, Crystal, Jeff, Dave, thank you for joining me. This was so much fun. What a great time.
It was fun.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
We've been agreeing a lot. Now, earlier today, we didn't necessarily. Kind of did, but not necessarily. But, sometimes it just feels good to agree about a film. I don't know.
Yeah, feels right. Feels right, Brian.
All right. Let's say goodnight.
I don't know if these will be on my top 10 or not, because I have to hold some spots for some artsy fartsy non-horror films that Dave will like.
Yes.
Yeah.
We know
I'm sure they're coming down the pike.
All right.
We'll get them.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Gruesome Magazine.